ya death kwanza inatokana aje? You made dying a struggling death or dying out of maybe nimekuwa mgonjwa ile sana kabisa ile mwaka I'm like
Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. We are the Generation Z Life. I'm Gloria.
I'm Imani.
On today's episode, we talk about our fears. Yeah, so what's your fear in life?
Oh my God. My first fear is death, actually.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a Christian, and the Bible says, like, today is Christ, blah, 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 blah. But for me, as much as I know all of us will die, but the time I always pray, when the time comes, I give up my life willingly. I don't dare struggling
there. When I was
there.
a baby, I was like, so what happens if I die? Alafu unajua si tunaishi ushagona, unajua wanazikanga mtu nje. I was like, nitabaki nje peke yangu usiku. Na nilikuwa naogopa kukaa nje. Yeah. So I also fear death, but my fear of death drives me to live life to the maximum, to enjoy every day of my life.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But you know, fear ya death kwanza inatokana aje? You made dying a struggling death or dying out of maybe nimekuwa mgonjwa ile sana kabisa ile mwaka I'm like I cannot fight tomorrow, I'm ending it today. Now that is a problem. Ndio my mom used to tell me how venye mtu amekufa pia inaonyesha kupata wale watu walikufa kwa mdomo kwa chances are they were struggling so much. Yeah, there's some people just die like this.
A
peaceful death. Yeah, but all people in the Bible used to die a peaceful death. Because they knew they were going to die, call their sons.
A peaceful death for me is a goal. That is one of my boxes that I want to tick. Like, it will come an age and I'll gather my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren and tell them, I've done enough for you guys. I've lived my life. Come, I want to bless all of you.
I know.
It is time. I want to go meet my father.
Yeah. And also I want to die when I'm satisfied with what I've accomplished in life. Like I can look back and say, I pat my shoulder and tell myself, I did nice.
Yeah.
Now when I die after that, I know I'm dying peacefully. And the goal is heaven. Not that day and I'm going to hell. I want to be a God, I come back.
You know, I've ever had a dream that, okay, I won't mention who, but someone who I loved, Chokora heaven.
Wait, I don't want to laugh about that,
but I if that dream is true, it's what's true. If it's true, then I am happy. At least I had a mansion hell, ni Chokora heaven.
You'd rather be a Chokora in heaven. But that I mean, between being coming a Chokora in heaven and going to hell. Acha tu niokote makaratasi. Basi unajua kupata kwa chokosha ukoti karatasi. Unaokota nikebeza milk and honey. ama naokota chakataka kwa river bakari.
Zinatanga hizi dark jokes. Like, there was a time I used to go to town attachment. Alafu sasa nikipita au mbega sona niomba do na mwingine alikuwa na mkebea yogurt ya Delamere. I was like, manze hata unasikia vitu kuna mkebea ya Delamere. mi sioni kitu.
Yeah. That is funny, but death is the way of life, and everyone will just
it's a rite of passage.
Yeah.
And do you know my fear about death is after death, according to the Bible, there will be judgment day. And imagine God calling me and telling me that you had a channel and you inspired people wrongly.
Oh my God.
And Yeah, that is one of my fears. When I think of Generation Z life, I think, how will I impact people positively?
Yeah, that's true.
Unajua kuna msee huko nje anakusikiza and they don't know what to do and they will follow exactly what you said because it's the first advice they are hearing and it's making sense to their ears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is sad actually, but accountability is also part of life.
Yeah.
We have to be accountable for everything that we do. Moving on, babes. In the part of death, maybe there is also part of losing loved one, because that is part of death too. That's also a fear.
It's a fear, and for me, I can tell you, I've gone through that fear, conquered it, and I'm there again.
Oh, that's nice.
There was a time I was like, saisi sioni kama wasi wakikufa nitasikia, but si hivyo sana. Like sioni mwenye amebaki mwenye nitasikia hivyo sana. But sasa imagine nimerudi pa guy. I don't want to lose anyone. Yeah. And talking of death, there was a time we were at a certain memorial service. We were with the money. Unajua tangu huyo msee dedi, we never cried. So we were planning, tunaenda memorial service, we will let out the pain.
Yeah.
Guess what the pastor said? If you know you are going straight to heaven, you can cry. If you don't know, dry your eyes. Nobody cried.
I don't want to laugh because it's a very serious matter.
Imagine not cry.
Let's joke. Vitu ziko serious. And let me tell you guys, that man, he was very. It was so sad that tukua tumeongea naye how many days ago.
It was not long. We were and we were talking about food.
Food, imagine.
It's always
we're just laughing. Then the next time we're being told,
the
guys
died.
Just no more.
And he was a vibrant guy. Like I can't even imagine right now that he's somewhere 6 feet under. I cannot.
It does not make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nilata kugonjeka sana. It was just something so simple. Hata you watu you don't need medicine, but then the guy just went like that. And then the pastor was like, acha ka ingekuwa yeye angeulizwa between all the members of the church which one to take. He would have said no, take that one.
You know, at that period, what the spaces we were not that functional. We were like na nimekupatia bonus ya glow.
Anaweza huyo niache. Sasa niache kwa wale pale toka sorry pale mwele na.
Kitu kwa kanisa. Chango wako kile kitu.
It was sad, but you remember during our ages to call dogo losing someone young in the village or anywhere. The death would make people to cry a lot. But nowadays, young people just die and it's
You know, the first time I experienced death in my life, I was 10 years old. Yeah, it was my dad. That was the first time I ever saw like walai people die. And later in life, the next time was 2018. Now I was mature too.
Yeah.
But he in Guinness, it really got on me. I was young, my mom alipata the impact, but now death is sasa nimefeel ukweli death inaacha gap ni 2018, my grandfather.
Death stings, guys. Like I say, kitambo I would even fear looking at the coffin. Ila taka inapita na ule mbale very far away. Singa I would end up crying. I've ever seen someone amejinyonga kwa a tree. Niko very young, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years.
Why did you see?
Ilikuwa tu unajua ile venye watoto wazazi wanaacha watoto na watch, then they're running also, unajua na wamekwambia twende. You go there and you see it was out of the influence ya bot kuenda na bot, and it was that really got to me. It was trauma.
I've never seen
so ever since that day, trust me,
I hear mtu amejinyonga huko, I will not pass there until wamalize wazike.
You don't want and removing because you know at that time traditions were followed and even taking her down.
Kumpiga. I know those traditions. Let me tell you, if you're planning to commit suicide, please call me. Let's discuss. It is not. If you are from the Luya or Luo community, you'll be buried at night. You'll be caned. No one will be allowed to cry in your funeral. Hautakatwa hivi kwa kamba na ushikiliwe, utakatwa uanguke bufu kama nyama. Are you ready for that? No.
But me, I always feel like even as much as you want to commit suicide, imagine hell is still waiting for you guys.
Sure.
Because that is a sin already in itself.
Yeah.
Sometimes death is not the answer or anything. It is sad, by the way, but me, when I experienced like the first loss that really got to me so much, it was my aunt. And she was someone who was so nice.
That auntie that you have.
I would even wear the shirt to class in campus. Then people were like, "Are you okay? How can you?" Yet that was my form of mourning, and it really got to me. Design, that was my first time of me looking at someone at the coffin, and I was like, "Siridiki," I'm just there like, "Are you sure? Well, you are gone." Like, it really stings so much. It does.
Okay. Death is so big, and people mourn differently.
True.
Please, if you have anyone around you that, as much as maybe they look strong, they are more, especially when you look strong, hao ndo analia sana.
Watu wakishatoka.
Yeah.
And the boma is empty. Unajua hapo hivyo, you have a lot of people, your cousins are there wanakuchekesha, your aunties are there keeping you company. But imagine after death, people are going back to their homes. They have done burying.
And they leave
going.
you there.
You remain there. The compound
you see, kitambo after burial wase wangekata 2 days. Nowadays,
people have errands.
The main person akisha tusema, for example, kama ni bwana amekufa, if the wife speaks, people start going. Akimaliza tuweke microphone chini ngao waseme kanisa, watu wameshaamka.
Wakishaita reception food. Yeah. That is how people have left. Until we were at my grandfather's burial, then the MC was saying, "You watu mnakula, yes, the person lunch yake iko heaven na hajakula lunch, lakini nyinyi mshakula lunch yenu." And you guys are leaving. See, mgoje kwanza chakule lunch before you guys eat your own lunch. Because it's the reason why. It's the reason why you guys are eating lunch.
Yeah.
At that time, as much as I was crying, because it was funny.
I like such MCs and I bring out the brightness even in times of sorrow. Yeah. And please, death is a rite of passage. Death, it is not normal. It is normal actually.
Yeah, it is.
It is normal. It is painful, but it is something that all of us, please, once in a while, sit down and think about your death. Sit down and think, how will people say, if I die right now, what will people say about me? Unajua wengine wenyu mtakufa and nobody will even remember you.
Really, I know how to laugh.
Imagine life will be normal for people.
Yeah.
You die and nobody will miss you. Please, usitamani kukua hivyo.
But imagine once you die, people will miss you just the first times. But after that, life goes on. That is the issue of life.
It depends wewe ulikuwa nani.
Exactly.
But there are people who will miss you like forever.
I agree.
Yeah, they'll be like, guy, kama Imani angekuwa hapa, life will be different. I say niko na Imani tumekuwa tunacheka, but some of you will never like, hata ule mtu alikuwa na deni yangu. Yeah.
I cannot.
And you know, in funerals they even say alikuwa kama alikuwa na deni yako simama useme.
Do they say that?
Yeah, I've had twice.
Acha.
Mimi nashangaa, do I even have the courage ya kusema alafu iko kwa 200?
Now who's paying that?
Now I think that's the issue, because if someone alikuwa na deni yako, ukisimama kwa burial it show how uko mindful of the family.
That is
exactly. Ndio maana huwezi simama.
Unajua huwezi sema tio pesa mkate kwa hiyo.
Exactly.
Kwa yangu changisho yenye nilikuwa natoa, cause after burial deni zinakuanga mingi. Nasikia catering.
Kuna viti zilivunjika, wanafaa walipie.
Yeah, that is as good as you forgetting. Nika simsi akikufa na alikuwa na balance kwa phone loan. Sinaendanga hivyo.
Ndio maana nitawaremind, please. Pay watu loan something you can forget about. Usipe mtu loan kitu yenye akidedi na pesa yako unalia miaka yako yote. Yeah.
But anyway, we're sorry we started this on a sad note, but that is the reality of life.
Okay, my second fear in life is failure. Do you know, Imani, I fear failure so much that the first time I failed, it crushed my whole... It crushed me.
For me also, it gets to me so much, I cannot lie. Ile design yenye, I can end up crying, because I cry in secrecy. I don't cry openly, but the fact that I am crying, it has really gotten to me.
Yeah.
Ile vibaya sana.
Fear to me, I've never failed. Like in this aspect of failure, I talk about failure academic wise. Imagine,
for you it's academic?
It was academic. Like my first major failure was academic wise, and then it became family. The point that I felt like I was not enough for my family members. I was not doing enough, but now the academic one opened it. I was like, how can I do this? How did I even get here? It crushed me. Like, hata wase walikuwa wananiuliza, hey Gloria, where were you? Yeah, but I could not talk to people. I was not happy. I was crying the whole day, the whole night. Yeah.
For me, when it comes to failure, me failing to accomplish what I wanted. For example, for me, I consider, okay, I don't want to say it failure per se, but we apply for jobs, or maybe to make the interview, and you're not picked out of the people. For me, I feel like maybe I never did my best, something sort of that. So that alone really gets to me. Not just as much as sometimes my mom or my friends used to tell me, what's the worst that can happen after that? For me, what's the worst that can happen? Because I always beat myself and tell myself, maybe I never tried harder. I never did. Sequence the extra mile. Then I came and noticed later on, sometimes I push myself too far, like too much, or it's so hard for me to forgive myself when I go through failure.
Sure.
And I've noticed, I've learned over time to forgive myself. Because imagine if I don't forgive myself, who will forgive me? I've failed, yes. What next?
I've ever sat down and realized I forgive people so easily. But when it comes to forgiving myself, like I will be
hard.
Judas. I will betray myself and not forgive myself.
Yeah, I also have the same issue. It is hard for me to forgive myself. I'm always thinking,
I could have done better.
I'm like, why mbona kufanya hivi? Forgiving oneself, for me, it is hard. It's a journey. I'm still learning to forgive myself most of the time. After maybe even doing something wrong or something. Yeah, learn to forgive yourself, guys. It is hard, but learn to forgive yourself.
Sure. That is something I think that you do intentionally. You sit down and tell yourself, okay, I need to do better, but this and this, I will change, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
You're like, okay, Emmanuel, Gloria, tell yourself, okay, I know I've done this, but, okay, what next? Let me do this. Okay. It's a long journey. I can't say it.
Yeah.
So moving on, my next fear, I fear disappointments. Either me disappointing myself or me disappointing others. I'm used to, but then guys, let me tell you one thing. Expect other people to disappoint you. Because if you figure out point here, you need expect Gloria to disappoint, you still have a long way to go. A very long way to go.
Give people room to disappoint you.
It is to even your parents. You can be that perfect child, but you can disappoint your parents too. I noticed I used to have that syndrome too. You want to have like the perfect kid. You don't disappoint your parents. You don't disappoint your brothers and sisters. Then the first day you disappoint them, you will really hate yourself because you're used to being that perfect kid. And the first time you're disappointing your parents, like, why did I even do it? So hard.
Perfection can be a weakness.
It is, for me it is.
Yeah.
You want even your relatives, your nini to look at you, to see the perfect side of you, yet we have the other side of us.
Do you know
they don't see.
For you, perfection is a weakness. For me, I really wanted to be perfect, but constantly wasi wangeshinda wakisema maybe she's lazy, maybe anafura. So over time I accepted I'll disappoint you. And you know, when I accepted I'll disappoint you, I even hurt people even more. So now I didn't care.
Yeah, hiyo ndo shida.
Like, whether I hurt you or I don't, it's your business. I'll just run on you and go.
For me, ile yenye me disappointing others, sorry, ilikuwa inani hit ile vibaya sana because I never wanted other people to disappoint me. Nilikuwa expected Gloria, the fact that I never disappointed you, you should also never disappoint me. But then when I experienced the first disappointment, I was like, these guys are not fair. I was sitting there waiting for them to come and say sorry. And imagine they never came to say sorry. I was like, Kwani,
I recently saw a meme if a snake bites you, do you go looking for the snake? The snake can sorry.
No.
Ama unajishughulikia. Exactly. So anytime someone hurts you, stop. Work on yourself.
Yeah.
If they are worth going after, go after. But if they are not worth, leave them and work on yourself.
Yeah, I sasa ndo nikakuja na hiyo phrase, what's the worst that can happen? You've disappointed me. What's the worst that can happen?
Sure.
It has already happened. Now, moving forward, what am I going to do after knowing you've disappointed me? I've already disappointed you.
Okay, hapo kwa hiyo phrase, what's the worst that can happen? Please, guys, use it in applying for jobs, in looking for opportunities.
Yeah, in seeking,
They'll just say no.
Okay, but they're talking about fear. Hata mimi nilikuwa na ile fear ya just I'm always like, how am I going for the interview? I have that fear. Then I was like, what is the worst that can happen?
No.
They'd either reject me, they'd tell me I'm not competent, and after that, after I've accepted I wasn't competent because I was like this. Go ahead and work on yourself in those points and you're gonna feel. You can just ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? Analyze. After ushasema wale wanaweza nikatajwa this and this and this, once you notice that wewe mwenyewe uko na hizo vitu, go and work out on them.
Let me tell you, the first time I went for a job interview, we were 3 of us. So we kept checking up on each other, like, wamekucontact, no? Little did we know, none of us were taken. They took someone else who was not there at the interview, meaning tulicheza. Anyway, Kenya. Story wa Kenya. On my next fear, I fear poverty. I fear dying poor.
Same to me. Being broke.
Being broke too. Like, wacha hizi vitu za dunia zipite na mimi, hata mimi nizipite. Like, hata mimi nataka nikuwe huyo mse mwenye ako kwa gari bigi. Madonda wanavunjika shingo akiniangalia.
Mcheki kama mimi nakanga kwa jam. Then you see someone driving. Obviously, SUVs huanga fupi kushinda manganya and other things. So I was looking at a woman's car. Naangalia how she's driving. I'm looking at her fuel. Her fuel tank was almost full, man. I was like, damn. I feel like these are goals. Then I realized, I'm afraid of being poor.
I love looking at cars. Hapo Thika highway. Naziangalianga, nitatafuta driver if